This Friday the 13th took a strange turn in Nashville today. An overturned trailer let the cows out on the interstate.
And we've been standing a little bit of a distance away from these guys so far because we want to make sure that we don't scare them either, though. As you can see, they don't look particularly scared. And there's been a lot of noise, a lot that's been going on over here, and they've just been handling it really well. Like, as you can see, one of them's just hanging out on the ground. They just go over to their bucket, they take a little bit of a drink, and then they just go right back to hanging out here. And luckily, because these trucks have been parked around them, they've been in the shade, and you know that cows do love their shade. This road belongs to TDOT, and obviously there's not any problem out here right now. It's been completely clear for a couple of hours now, but it only takes a little while, just a few minutes of rain, for this to completely fill up with water again. Today has seen some problems.
Oh, yeah.
We're pretty close to this right now. I don't know if you guys can see, but we are close. I'm nervous for them. Do you guys get nervous doing these sorts of tricks so often?
I think if you don't get nervous, you're asking for an accident. You know, we call it more respect.
Several flyers have been circulating about this issue, in addition to being hung right here by Todd's house on Forrest Avenue. They're asking people to go to the Historic Zoning Commission meeting on Wednesday in order to support Todd. Demolition has been underway here the past 2 days. These walls have been here for a very long time, but take a walk with us right over here. You can see where some of this is already coming down. While preservationists have won some battles here in Music Row, this isn't one of them. Guys, I have to be honest with you. I don't get starstruck very often, but I am a little bit nervous right now. And the reason for that is who's behind us at this moment. It's R2-D2. Everybody's taking some pictures with him. Well, he's a very in-demand guy. Let's let these guys get their picture with him really quick, and then we're going to see if we can duck in and get a quick interview with R2-D2. May the force be with you, man. I love this so much.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere.
Christmas here, it gives you the merriness. You get it here in the mountains.
The downtown Gatlinburg strip is all red and green.
I call it a family-oriented Vegas.
Alex Abrahams loves all of this about his home.
That joyful feeling. You know.
The Hatfield McCoy Dinner Show.
But seeing the decorations return this year is something bittersweet.
You know it happened, and you just want to move on from that. But the scars are there. Our owner's suite started from the front there in the office in the gravel, and we went back towards that way.
A year ago, this is where Alex lived and operated a place for low-income residents, the Roaring Fork Motel Cottages.
We lost about 27 units.
This place was part of his dream to help the community. But on November 28, 2016, Alex saw an orange sky over the building and knew he had to get everyone out now.
I'm starting knocking the doors. We gotta go, we gotta go. Oh, we'll be fine. No, not on my watch, we gotta go. That fire, it did a dance around the mountains. Just from ridge to ridge, mountain to mountain, you just saw these embers, you know, like people were shooting arrows at each other. And it's wherever it landed, it started a fire.
In the panic to leave, Alex left everything, including the only possessions that mattered. He had wife Victoria's wedding rings.
She said, if you can't find nothing, just get the rings. And we searched for 3 days after the fire.
A full year has made a tremendous difference here.
There's a lot of construction that's happening here on Roaring Fork Road right now. Just up the way, the Roaring Fork Baptist Church is nearing completion, while the motel is scheduled to reopen in the spring.
But Alex says the property belongs to someone else now. It's just too hard to return to the same place.
I don't even think we had the chance to heal. Living room, full kitchen, bathroom, everything.
His ABR Investments acquired a different 3 acres in Gatlinburg to build new affordable housing. He says, like so many here, there are things that keep him going. Small things. Small finds.
The rings, they came together and they found each other and they went through that fiery night, you know, together. It brought hope, renewed hope. No matter what we go through, fire or storms or winds or whatever, we can make it.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hill. music everywhere.
In Gatlinburg, I'm Forrest Sanders, News 4. Coming into Big Sandy, there's Melton's fill-in station on the right.
Thank you.
It's been here since the early 1940s, opened by the grandfather of Sonny Melton.
One thing you learn fast in Big Sandy, everyone here knows Sonny Melton.
Sonny was no different than another brother to me.
He played baseball with my youngest son.
At 29, people around here say Sonny made a name for himself as a nurturer. It only made sense he'd be a registered nurse working the emergency department and ICU at the Henry County Medical Center. And everyone knows just how taken he was by wife Heather.
It was always something about Heather, you know. He was, crazy about her.
Taking a trip from the home they were building here in Big Sandy, Sonny and Heather were celebrating their 1-year anniversary in Las Vegas.
Senseless, yeah. My heart goes out to all of them.
Heather told News 4 in a message, "He saved my life. He grabbed me from behind and started running when I felt him get shot in the back."
That doesn't surprise me. I think he'd have done it for a complete stranger.
I think it was just second nature to him to do something like that.
It's just the kind of person he was.
Today at Melton's, people are still pulling through to fill up, still getting their usual.
227.
But there's a heaviness to it.
I'm gonna cry now.
For people here, Melton's is even more than the name long on the old filling station.
Definitely the hardest loss that I've ever dealt with.
It's a young man's name they'll always admire for what he did.
He loved her, He loved her.
Oh, I see him a lot. He walks the streets all the time.
Pretty much everybody in town probably knows who he is.
Here comes John. They say, "Oh, Johnny's on his way."
People in Waverly can't remember a time when they didn't see John L. Mays out walking every morning.
All my life. I'm 73.
A man with autism. People see him passing the storefronts, the dewdrop fences, walking his route.
He goes from one end of town, plumb down the other end of town.
Visit people at the hospital, the nursing homes.
Then there are the many, many stops here. The Humphreys County Funeral Home.
I couldn't even begin to even imagine the number of funerals that he's been to here.
Every time somebody passes away here in the city of Waverly, he always there.
A beautiful, beautiful person.
Known in Waverly as the Funeral Man. People remember when John L. took a seat in here on their family's hardest days.
My sister in 2013.
I had my aunt, she passed away.
Yeah, my father.
That my family member was special enough to come and pay his respects, that's just a very, very big blessing to me.
But today, John L., the Funeral Man, isn't out on that daily walk. John L.'s passed away at 89 years old.
I don't know what is going to take place because he's gone,
But after he attended all the funerals here for all those decades, Waverly believes it's time to repay the Funeral Man.
Heaven on my mind. I got heaven on my mind. Heaven on my mind. Well,
The whole town has chipped in, helped John, buried John. We're taking care of this man.
There are hardly enough pages to contain all the guests. Standing room only.
All I can say about my brother, he touched everyone's heart. Everyone.
As children, some taunted John L. But then as the children grew up, they began to respect him. They began to honor him. We all say we could be just like him, we'd be better off. I don't think any of us can come close, but I think that's what we should strive for.
With Waverly watching, John L., the Funeral Man, goes on his route one last time.
Ain't gonna be another man like him. You know what I'm saying?
We know that John's in a better place. Just makes me want to go there more, knowing John's going to be there.
In Waverly, I'm Forrest Sanders, News 4.